Hey guys, and welcome back to Saints Nation. So I've got a pretty interesting bit of news for you. So St Kilda are interested in selecting Mattaes Phillipou's brother Jevan Phillipou in this year's upcoming draft. And it's pretty interesting because St Kilda obviously don't have their first round pick. They traded it to Gold Coast for Sam Flanders, and everyone thought, we obviously don't think that this draft is anything to really look into. We've got our NGA prospect in Kai Fincher, and it has obviously been reported that we're going to take Ryan Burns in this draft after delisting him. So we all thought that those would be our two rookie or our two, national draft selections that need to be made. But it turns out we're actually looking to trade back into the first round of this draft and take Jevan Phillipou. So Code Sports, who are a part of the Herald Sun, they've come out with an article about how after our aggressive off-season, we've got picks 50 and 65, but we want one more surprise, and that is Jevan Phillipou. And the most likely option for this pick is Carlton's pick 11. Obviously, they have to move this pick considering the bids for Harry Dean that they'll have to match. Adelaide are also interested in acquiring this pick, so it's really looking like a two-horse race for this pick between us and Adelaide. I'd expect some more to come for pick 11 since it has to be moved on. But it is pretty interesting. So what can we trade for Jevan Phillipou? So I'd say we'd be looking right now at building a package around pick 50 and our future first. I think that's, a relatively good starting point. So pick 50, we'd want to keep 65 to draft either Ryan Burns or Kai Fincher, I'd assume. We've also got 86 and 104, but they aren't really of note. But some other picks we could look to move. So our current draft hand is in 2026, we have our own first, our own third, and our own fourth. And in 2027, we have so many 2027 picks. I wonder if that's something we're looking to build on because of Tassie. That's when Tassie are going to come into the competition. I wonder if that's why we've stockpiled those picks. But we currently have our first, our second, our third, Melbourne's third, West Coast third, and Melbourne's fourth and our own fourth. So we've got some pretty interesting picks that we could look to move. I would expect some of these 2027 picks to be moved on. But I think the main package will be built around our 2026 first and pick 50 for draft points for Carlton. So who is Jevan Phillipou as a player? So he's a bit more of a midfielder forward type. He's a bit smaller than his brother, whereas his brother's more 190. Jevan Phillipou, that's going to get a bit annoying throughout this video. Is more, that 183, 185 centimeter player. But, there's been interviews going around where he says he's already better than his brother. I'll have a few of his highlights up throughout this video. But I do think it's an interesting push. I know some of us wanted to, draft Phillipou before Mattaes signed on. But now that Mattaes has signed on till 2028, I didn't think it was that big of a priority. We already had Mattaes locked in, but it looks like we're still pretty interested in Jevan. It looks like it was the only player Ross Lyons spoke to at the National Draft Combine, which I think signals that we are pretty into him. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting bit of news, guys. I thought I'd just quickly jump on and deliver this to you. But let me know what you guys think of the prospect of bringing in Jevan Phillipou, but also the prospect of us having to trade either our 2027 or our 2026 first rounder. I do think it is an interesting conversation as to what we will give up in a trade, especially if other clubs like Adelaide could come up with better packages. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.